Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to an I did not sleep in this morning Winnipeg. In fact, I've been up since about 4:30 this morning. Yep, you've heard me say this before. I woke up and knew I was not going to go back to sleep, so I thought I may as well get up and get going here. And there's no use even having the curtains open because it is just right now starting to get light out. Hey, we're getting a little bit of a sunrise. Yeah. Can you see it there? Yeah. Well, I'll dub it in. Okay. Yeah, it might be nice. Who knows? Well, we'll know in about half an hour. Now, we get to turn the page. Yes. I got everything done here on step 32. Those of you who watched the little extra that I put out about the sprue pen, which I wouldn't say it was a disaster, but it did not go as planned. But we won't talk about that in this episode. We'll talk about it in the next sprue pen update, which I might work on this evening. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, let's move over here to step 33. All right, step 33. Oh boy, photo etch. Okay, it looks like it's interesting though. Yeah, it looks interesting. Oh, well, and then we start working on the funnel in 34. Oh boy, we're moving along. I would say we're probably halfway or a little better through this build, at least the quality that I'm doing it. If I was to, do a really extra good job, it would probably never get it finished. But anyway, let's get going here and get going. Oh, I do kind of have a little bit of a rollback. I don't know if I should show it to you now or save it for the sprue pen. I remember in the last episode I said I wasn't going to video doing any of this. Well, I kind of did. No, I'll show it in the update. So yeah, nothing special. Okay, let's recompose here. And where's my? Okay, my module is over there on a shelf. We'll get it on the model table here. Mind you, we don't need it. We don't need it. Let's leave it up on the shelf where it's safe. We're just going to be cutting ourselves some photo etch here, and this is going to be interesting. What is it that we're making there? Some kind of a box, it looks like. Okay, C23 and 24. Now, looking at 24 here, it almost appears to me that if we were to nip it off here, these pieces here do not seem to be connected to anything. At least that's the way it looks right now. Like I'd be nipping it off here and here. And are these things loose? That's what it appears to be. So let me slip the macro lens on. We'll take a closer look at this thing. Now, number 23 here, I can see where it's not going to be any problem at all. We're just making a box. And I don't even know if we're going to need to solder the corners together. But 24, after we nip it here and here, it looks like each one of these individual connections has to be nipped off. But then what supports this long, spindly little, and then it looks like you can see there's folding lines here. You know what? I think what we should do is see if we can find in Stefan's book what it is we are making. That might sort of help a little bit, but still, we got the problem that this is going to be extremely fragile. and so easily bent out of shape once it's removed from the fret. Now, there are at least 2 C frets, and if we mess one up, we do get another chance. I think there might even be a 3rd C. I'm not sure. Now, I don't know if we have to. The plan doesn't say make 2. The manual, I mean, doesn't say make 2. But yeah, let's just take a look in Stefan's book and see what is it that we're actually making here. Okay, this is what we're making up out of those 2 pieces. And it gets dropped down onto this piece right here. Now, if I go ahead a couple of steps in the manual, we can see where this whole thing goes down. And I think we should be able to find it in the book. Okay, our little part gets dropped down onto this piece right here. This should be fairly recognizable. Okay, I have found it in Stefan's book. This is going to be a tough one. Let's just do our best. Okay, the 23 is obviously not going to be a problem. However, you see these things here, they have to go through these little holes. I didn't realize that at first. Okay, I think I've got that nipped fairly cleanly. Sticking pretty good to the other side of the tape. Okay. Now, let me turn this here so it'll be centered. Okay, I think the best way to go on this will be to nip these ones first, and because then when I nip the ends, this whole thing will be a little bit looser, and yet on the other hand, if it's stuck to the tape, what's the difference, right? Now, very carefully here. Don't want to weaken that thing. Okay, let's swing it around and get the other side. Do I get this one here? Well, I think I missed it. Okay, I'm just going to swing it around here and get it. All right, now I might have to readjust the camera here to get this into view. The base of the camera is not cooperating with me here. Well, we can sort of see it. No, these are going to be there's not much connecting it on there. Oh, I did get that one. Okay. I'm going very slowly here. I'm watching for anything happening that shouldn't. Okay, it's loose. It's loose. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. Well, here we are in the bottom of the tin. It's not bent yet. I think what we'll do is we'll make our box first. And, yeah, we'll make the box first. I think we're probably supposed to fold towards the lines on the box. But if we do, then we're going to lose this detail. You'll notice there's a couple of lines, like we've got all these holes along here, and then we've got a line here and a line here. Now, these are clearly not folding lines, or they would go all the way through. So I don't know what that's all about. Okay, now here you can see those lines I was talking about, and here they are here. But you don't see it drawn in right here after it's folded up. So does that mean that you fold it up the other way so that these lines are on the other side? And yet if we do, then we're going to be folding it the wrong way as to the way the folding lines are. I think I'm going to go with folding it the way the folding lines are. You know, the way where you normally fold to make a box. Unless there's something on the other side here, but I don't think there is. No, it's just plain. You notice these holes on the end, they're not round. It's sort of keyed, if you know what I mean. Yeah, because when you look at the diagram further on here, where it sort of shows how this goes together, this is not clear. It's just plain not clear. You know, I think that if we were supposed to fold this up so that these lines are on the inside, and yet but then why they wouldn't be seen? Well, no, maybe not, because you would be looking down through. That's true. This is going to be open here. So maybe I just don't know. I just don't know. Okay, I have folded it in towards the lines, and I'm wondering if I should maybe try and bend these in just a little bit more. That didn't sound good. It went too far. Oh, I see what happened. The corners sort of caught, but I don't think anything got damaged there. Now, maybe I'll do this one just a little bit more too. Now, should I try and solder that together, or just leave it the way it is? It's pretty stiff actually. Yeah, it's pretty stiff. Okay, I'm beginning to see how this is supposed to go now. What have I got on there? Is that a piece of dirt or something? Some little piece of dust. Well, there we got it. Okay, so this piece has to be bent to look like this. So it looks to me as though you bend it here to go underneath. I'm wondering if maybe I should do these bends before I try to poke these through these holes here. You know, because if this piece here, these two pieces are stuck together, and then I try to bend these. You know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bends to curl this thing around. Yeah, I can sort of see how it's supposed to go. But then afterwards, after these go through, then we bend these around. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to have to do this off camera. I can't, and to get it to bend at these folding lines, and not bend where the little connection fastens onto this part. I think for me that's going to be impossible. I don't know if anybody can actually do that. It's just you'd have to have a very, very precision, sharp photo etch bender. Now I am noticing that I've already got one of these little prongs slightly bent out of shape here. I was trying to be careful. Okay, now I think what we'll do is see, there's only so many bends I can do on this thing. No, I think I'll start out here and just work my way in. This may not work. I might actually be better off using the Tamiya plier. My new ones. I think they're pretty sharp on the edges. Now, just let me check the monitor here. Okay, now I think what's going to happen, unfortunately, maybe I've got it too far in. Let's move it out just a little. There. Now, as I mentioned before, I think what's going to happen is that it's going to... Oh, I caught one. How do I get underneath that? Here we go. I'm under. Okay, move very slowly. As soon as you see something catching, fix it. Oh, I got company. I got company. Our friend Gabe is here. Okay. All right, I'll go at this later. Now, you remember I was working on this and I said, Gabe is here? Well, this is Gabe.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Now,
too.
so many times you've seen me reach out and grab one of these and I say, we got one of Gabe's swabs here. Well, he's the man that got me onto these. Anyway, you're a school teacher.
Retired. Happily. Yeah.
What grade?
I taught mostly high school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I did teach a little bit of middle school and mostly sciences and technology.
Wow. I guess I better keep my mouth shut and you'll find out, otherwise you'll find out how much I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so Gabe brought along some stuff that he wants to show us here. And,
well, number one is, here are the sailors I painted for your model. And you okay if I just spill them out here?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'll just move the camera down here. As I say,
I can
recompose.
pull.
No,
Okay.
I can recompose.
Yeah.
The viewers are used to me doing that.
Could I borrow a pair of tweezers? I know I didn't have to bring a pair. So
Yes, you may.
yeah.
Do you want like the little sharp kind, or
That's fine. Yeah. So anyhow, I painted these guys up for you. I was doing a lot of experimenting, and I wasn't exactly thrilled with the results. But this is what they come across looking at as. You'll see one here is not painted.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a story there. You'll see he's missing a foot. The foot is actually here somewhere. But I was working on these, and I would hit some kind of calamity, and then I would walk away from it. So that's why it took me so long to get them to you. But one was I was not happy with the paints. So I actually cleaned them off. I used the Windex trick that you did, brushed them off several times. And then in the process, I broke off the foot on this guy. And so I actually reattached it. CA glue doesn't work very well, but resin. So I used the UV resin. These are UV resins.
Yeah, I think I see the foot.
There's the foot, yeah. And so it looks a little bit large, but it's kind of like the cast that was left over. But I reattached it using UV resin and a UV lamp because I print resin. I got a 3D resin printer which uses UV to cure. So I reattached it, and I was cleaning up the sort of excess, and in the process it snapped. Oh, that's okay. I did it again and reattached it, and then was sanding off the sort of excess sprue, and I managed to grind off the toes on the other foot. So I said, oh, this is ridiculous. But there were so few officers. This guy was being painted as an officer. There were so few officers, I gave up, and I'm going, okay, I'm just going to buy another officer. You could buy the files. I have the 3D printer, and so you'll see a lot of the officers are the same pose because I just printed several versions of them.
So you printed these then?
Yeah, you'll see there's ones that I printed. The other ones I ordered from that fellow in Europe who sells them, and it was much cheaper to buy ready printed in several poses than it was to buy the files and print them myself. Because I would have had to buy a file for each and every pose. So it was more economical to buy them printed. But for the one officer, I said, okay, I'm buying the file, printing it myself, and I enjoy doing it. And for those of you who don't know, this is kind of the way it looks like when it comes off of off the printer. And so you have to build these supports, and you tilt the model. And you tilt the model. And I gave you two versions, one with the base and one without the base. So that's that officer printed. I happen to have a clear resin in there. There's all kinds of colors. You see this one was gray that was sent to me. But I just happen to have clear. I like the results I was getting. So all of these, most of these officers that you see here are started off looking clear like that. And then I went ahead and did the priming and painting and again, still experimenting. But every time I hit one of these calamities, I would curse and walk away, and I would walk away for like a week, and then, okay, I'll come back and solve this problem. So
I'm just going to interrupt you here.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to recompose here.
Sure.
So we'll just move in just a little bit closer if we can. Okay, we're back and we can see a little better now.
Yeah. So when you buy a file to print on your printer, they often will have a version with a stand, and you'll see that this guy has a stand on it. But you can also print, and this is the same pose without a stand. And I printed it both for you so you could see them. And I did a couple of different types of painting. You'll see that the actual model had a K-POC, I think they called it, a life vest.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so most of them might have this gray kind of vest. The officers have gray vests. None of the regular sailors have any vests. So I'm thinking the officers are more scared of getting drowned than the regular sailors.
So these would be depicting what era? What?
These are World War II.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Oh,
like
and the other thing was most of these were Royal Navy, and you think there isn't much difference that you could see from here, but I noticed the difference, and I said I can't live with it. British sailors have a flat-topped hat, and these all, even at this distance, I could tell they had flat-top hats. So I went and sanded off the corners off of each hat to give you to make it look more like a U.S. sailor's hat than a Royal Navy hat, and so the officers have peaked hats, and so anyhow, that was kind of there was all these little trials and tribulations, but it really pushed my skills, because I really had to work on getting fine details, finer than normal. May I show you what I normally paint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't paint World War II. I'm more of a tall ships kind of modeler.
Okay.
And that is...
So let's just move this over here, and we'll put them in the center here.
Yeah, that's the size I normally paint.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is...
That is nice.
Up until these, this is the smallest one that I painted. That's 1/96 scale for a model that I'm building.
Okay, well, that'd be like HO railroad size.
I'm not sure on those gauges, but I just know that I'm building a 1/96 model. So these I actually designed and printed and painted up. So that's the normal size. So you pushed my skills as far as I think I can. Again, no expert. Use this a lot of experimentation, but I feel like I've actually made some changes to the way I paint things because of these little guys.
Let's see, maybe I'll just
Go ahead.
see if
And they're varnished up and everything.
I can turn this and face them more up into the camera.
Yeah.
It's normally I would say let's slip on the macro lens, but that's such a time-consuming thing. We'll just do it like this. A lot of detail there. So is this any particular person, like Napoleon or something like that?
No, I call them number one. So whenever I take pictures, I build wood ship models, usually late 18th, early 19th century. And so that is my version of a Royal Navy lieutenant. And so I put them in the pictures, and just so people get an idea of perspective, much like how you use your perspective little pieces.
So obviously this is the same pose and everything, but reduced. So can you key into your computer then that you want a particular drawing, a particular size?
Exactly. That's exactly. I could print any size I want.
That's fantastic.
And in fact, this is kind of going to mess things up, but I want you to open that up later, and you'll get an idea. Or you could open up now. Here we go. There's a little added extra to this.
Okay, I'm just gonna move this guy here. Then.
Yeah, I can move them out.
And so I don't break anything here because we've got so much fragile stuff here. Well, I know it's not a roll of 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just dump it out?
I think it's right here.
Oh, it's in there. Okay.
So there's the exact same officer. as these little guys, but that's the size it was supposed to be printed. Mm-hmm. So again, once I got the file, I said, okay, I don't want that size. I want 1/700th. So I scaled it down, and so you'll see that these guys look, or this guy is the exact same pose, just at much smaller scale.
Okay, so can I keep that?
Yeah, that's for you. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so that's normally the size I paint. I have stretched down to 1/96, but going to 1/200th was, like I said, something that really pushed my abilities. Mm-hmm. And I kept remembering, oh yeah, Ron likes arm's length. So that was I was kind of using that as my gauge. I think at arm's length, these guys look okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure that the viewers really appreciated seeing something different other than my usual, because what are we up to here now? Episode number 1568, I think, today, or something like that. Wow. And they're pretty much the same. You know, I don't very seldom have anything a whole lot different. So this is going to be really nice.
Yeah. And I can't give you advice on how to glue it down. I would recommend practicing with some sprue.
I still have that sprue that you sent along. In fact, I was looking at it this morning.
Yeah, because this stuff is notoriously hard to glue together. And if you want, I have a little bottle of UV resin, and I got my little UV lamp that if you find difficult, but I find that would be almost impossible to do on your battleships. My guess is gel CA would be about the best thing.
Yeah, CA thick, I call it.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be about the best. And the other thing is it's a static model. No one's going to be playing with it or jiggling it, so they should stay where you put them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, wasn't that a nice treat? Yeah. Thank you so much, Gabe, for stopping by.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
It was a real pleasure to meet you like this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Well, as you can see, time is really marching along here this afternoon. After we had our little visit at the model table, Gabe sat in the kitchen with me and we talked for the longest time about all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and I think the best part of the visit was that Gabe's wife sent along 5 slices of banana bread. Yeah. Hey, there's only 4. Barnacle Bill, get in here. Well, I have to blame somebody. Okay, all kidding aside. Yeah. So, to Gabe's wife, thank you very much. Now, I'll probably do an episode on our sprue pen this evening. Another episode. Sort of an update. We'll talk about that. Find out. We can speculate together as to what went wrong. Well, some of it I know why it went wrong. But it is going to be usable. It is. And there is some sprue left, so we're okay there. And I will work on this a little later, but maybe not today. Yeah, this is going to be really what you might call iffy. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.